Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for making it here despite some of the most amazing eruption in Europe. I've just spoke to a few of you who flew through the ashes, so it's a pleasure to have you all here. So my name is Sebastien de Halleux, and I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes talking about the evolution of games, and more specifically, the lessons from gaming platform past. I think most of today is going to be about social games and looking about the future trends in the industry. So I thought I was going to take a step back and look at what the past can perhaps teach us about the future. But a little bit of context first. So as Justin said, I was the founder of Playfish, and before that, since about 2001, I've been involved as the founding team of another gaming company called Glue Mobile, or which ended up being called Glue Mobile, doing games for about 5 years until our IPO in 2007. And I left Glue to found Playfish, where I was serving as Chief Operating Officer until Electronic Arts bought us in November last year. So that's the kind of perspective I'm going to try to give to this presentation. Suddenly, we've seen a jump in people playing games from tens of millions to hundreds of millions. This was the first revolution in the games industry in how democratized access to content was. And now today, obviously, we are again trumping this by taking the hundreds of millions to closer to the billion user mark. And that's just never been seen before. This is a graph. It's another way of looking at the industry, which looks at the evolution on a per platform basis. And it creates, as you can see, a demand curve, which we are only now as an industry starting to address a little bit better than we have in the past. And it's that demand curve which is really the opportunity that lies ahead. But lowering barriers has also been about design. It's about how to design experiences which are more social. So by allowing people to concentrate on experiences which are more about their friends than they are about the games, you get high engagement. You know, the best example are just offline games, you know, like a pillow fight. You don't play a pillow fight because of the pillow. You play a pillow fight because you can hit your friends with a pillow. And that's the crucial component. And even before video games, board games understood this extremely well. They understood that you don't sell a board game to a gamer. You sell a board game to a group of friends that wants to have fun. And by focusing on those friends and not getting them stigmatized by having to call them gamers or having even to get them to recognize they are gamers, they sold hundreds of millions of board games. And they've used that, you know, they've used that mechanism to sell more games, because the first thing you do after a successful or fun game night is you say, I need to have this, I need to replicate that experience with my own group of friends. And this was an eye-opening moment. Suddenly, a platform was hijacked for games. And it didn't stop there. The next generation of phone with J2ME and Brew downloadable content created a huge industry that I used to be a part of. And very recently, it's sort of a vindication to see Steve Jobs on stage hailing an iPhone as the next generation gaming platform. An iPhone that itself was not designed as a game platform. So, you know, as platforms evolve, one of the key rules that we are seeing is that games surface as universally adopted content. Some of the lessons from those gaming platforms, whether they are offline, actual games, board games, or online, have been that strong franchises do matter as those platforms mature. Large audiences are a prerequisite for those platforms to be a success. Real friends have been very often a critical component of the success of those platforms. Think of the Wii compared to the PS3, for example. And fast iteration is one of the levers that those platforms can use to mature faster and faster compared to the previous generation. So the question then is, where next? Where is this industry going? If these are the lessons from the past, where is this industry going?